Hey there, this is Erica from Ever Educating, and this channel is all about teaching tips and activity ideas for new college instructors. So go ahead and click subscribe if that interests you. Today I'm talking about Canva, which is a free website or app that I use all the time, and I've mentioned before in previous videos, like the one about 5 major assignment ideas for online classes. And so today I'm going to go behind the scenes to show you my screen and how this tool can be really useful as a teacher and for other reasons as well if you have a lot of graphics or multimodal types of genres that you want to use in your classroom. So it's a great way to get students more engaged in your materials. So let's go ahead and take a look and see why I find this tool so helpful. Here's the homepage of Canva once you've signed in and created an account. And really, there's tons of things you can do with the site. It's a site to create a lot of different genres that have graphics in them. If you go up here to templates, you'll see a list of quite a few options. So if, for example, you have an assignment that has to do with social media, there's different templates here. And so when you click one, for example, Instagram post, it gives you options for different templates that's already measured to be the exact square as an Instagram post is. And so you can click whatever one you want and you can start editing it. So same for if you have an Instagram story. It changes the template to be the right size. So you can just go through and decide, hey, I like to look at this one. You click on it and you check, yep, that looks good. There's a bit other options that are similar. And then you say use this template and it opens up and it's ready to be used by you, right? So you can do all of them, or you can just delete the ones that you don't want, leaving only the one that you preferred. But really, you can just go here and there's a lot of different options. So if you do a social media project, if you do something that's tied to businesses, for example, you can do these, or you can see all of the types of templates that they offer: marketing, education, and so on. Obviously in the education one, so storyboards, lesson plans, class schedules, there's a lot of different options here. But for example, I like going just to home. You can also type out what you're looking for here. So let's say you have an assignment and you're having your students create a resume. If you type in resume, you'll see a lot of different template options here. And so maybe you choose one that your students will use, or you have your students decide for themselves which one they think fits best, depending on where they're applying to. Okay, and so maybe they go down and they decide, I think something like this is what I like. And so you can go ahead and open it up, change the title up here. And then if you zoom in, they can go ahead and edit everything they need to be theirs. Okay? So it's one of those things where it's a great website, so people don't have to start from scratch. So I've already showed you how you can do like a social media type of assignment. Creating a resume is another option here. Another big one that I really recommend are creating infographics. So obviously you can create these for your students, but you could also have students create them as an assignment, which is one of the things that I mentioned in my video about 5 major projects that can be done in an online class or in person. That's all digital. So you can have, again, like, okay, students, each of you have chosen something to research, a topic to research. Go ahead and create an infographic that synthesizes the research you've done in the last couple of weeks. Or I've taught you terminology, choose one term and give examples and infographic for it. Okay, create a timeline, etc., etc. So you can choose which one you want to do. There's tons of designs here, and then they can, design every piece themselves, right? So if they choose this one, for example, everything can be edited in it. The colors, the icons, the words. So it's really up to them. And again, a lot of the stuff is free. So let's say they go to Elements and, their infographic is about writing in some way. They can just say, book icon. And you see a lot of little icons pop up rather than photos of books. Okay? And so they can change all that up. So for example, here are 3 examples of infographics that I've created using Canva that have appeared on, my blog. And then here's a blog post. So I did a blog post about how to teach literary analysis writing. And so I created an infographic about the 5 main elements of literary analysis. And so, anybody who's reading this blog can see this infographic as part of the overall blog. So I do think that that's a good assignment to have students do. And once again, rather than having students have to choose from a completely blank template, they can choose, okay, this is a design I like the look of, and then I'll just change all the information in the actual infographic to match whatever it is that I'm researching. Now, another thing that's really cool is you can also, let's go back to home again. You can say, for example, a type of genre that isn't really specific, like resume or infographic, but let's just say, list, right? Because you want to create a to-do list or checklist, whatever the case may be. You can just literally search list and you'll get a lot of templates too, right? So here's a checklist template, top 5, happy over here. And so you can have, here's another great template that already has check boxes for students or you to use. And so there's going to be a lot of options here that might really appeal to you. And then again, you can just customize it for whatever it is that you're creating. So are you creating a checklist for your students to go through before turning in a project? Something like this would be great, right? Or if you want to personally just create like almost like a to-do pad for you for work, you can do that as well. And so obviously it can be a digital thing that you use in like a digital bullet journal, or it can be something you print out and just have, on paper. So you can really decide for yourself, what is it that I'm looking for? So I'm looking to create my own calendar that's specialized. Well, here you go, right? And you can just look through and see which one you like the design of the most. And if let's say you like this design most and you go to it, okay, you'll see the full calendar here. So January, February, March, April, and so on and so forth. And if you want to do a weekly calendar, these are options too, right? Or whatever the case may be, right? So you have a lot of options here to look through. You can say weekly calendar and then decide what style works for you and make changes accordingly. So you just click whatever it is you want to change and you can do that very simply. Another one that I think would really appeal is if you want to create an ebook for your students or whatever the case may be. You can find templates here as well. Okay, so I'll actually show you an example of something I created. So I created this ebook, which is 10 teaching tips for new college instructors. That's based off of my most popular blog post. And so the ebook is in my free resource library. So whoever signs up to receive my email newsletter also gets access to all those PDFs and templates and whatever the case may be that I have in my library. And so to create this, I really just chose a template that I liked and then I edited myself. Okay, so you have the cover and then I went in and I just edited what the text was already there and moved things around in order for it to look like what I wanted it to look. And so it's really this dynamic PDF that looks very different from obviously a regular blog post, but it has all the information and the links that I included in the blog post originally. And so to me, this looks very professional and I can do it all for free using templates available on Canva. So you can have your students create an ebook as one of their assignments, or you can create ebooks for your students, or really, again, for other reasons as well. You'll just have to decide, which style do you like the best. And then going back here, those are like the main kind of things that I do all the time, other than, of course, my social media graphics. So I use this website to create my YouTube thumbnails and my Instagram and my Twitter and Facebook, different graphics too. As I mentioned, I have the free option. You can try Canva Pro, I think, for a month, I believe, for free. I know one thing that Pro does allow for is resizing. So let's say you have a graphic that's already an Instagram post. You can click resize and you can change it into an Instagram story or a PDF or a Twitter post. And it kind of resizes things and moves things around for you automatically. You can also, for example, I believe when you have the Pro, you can do remove background. So if you have an image of yourself that you've uploaded, for example, if I have, see, I've already moved the backgrounds here, which I'll show you how to do that since I don't have the Pro version of Canva. But okay, so I have here this image, and let's say if you had it by itself, you'd be able to use the Pro, and you can file, I believe, and then take the background out. Let me delete that. I don't do that. Instead, I use the website remove.bg. You just upload an image, and then once you do that, it deletes the background for you, and then you could save the preview file as just a JPEG. You'd have to actually sign up to the website in order to have like a bigger size file, but I find no problem with the JPEG one. So if I go back here, and let's, for example, do a YouTube thumbnail. So let's say I like this one. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. And then I'm gonna delete that one. So in the uploads, here's an example of one of my images that I use the remove background, and it's just a preview image. So it's a much smaller file, but as you can see, it's not super blurry or anything like that. It still looks good. And so you can go ahead and edit it on here as much as you need to, and then download it as you go. Now, one thing to know is you can use the Canva app as well, though it doesn't have as many features as the website does. So for example, I can go in here, I can click individual words and change their color, but I can't do that in the phone. It won't let me change just the color of one word in the text. So I can do a lot with my phone, but then if I need more nitty-gritty details, I use the website. And once I make that change, it syncs to my phone and my iPad as well immediately. And so I can, for example, download it onto my phone and then use it again as a graphic on social media, or change my thumbnail or whatever I'm working on that would be easier to use my phone to do. To finish off this video, I'm going to be just very quick and do a design just to show you how easy it is to edit on here. So for example, if I go to my designs, I'm going to go ahead, click on the ellipses and make a copy. I can then change the name. So the next one I'm going to be creating is, how to use Canva as an educator. I'll probably change that later, but for now I have that. And then I'm using a different outfit for this video, so I'll delete that because I don't need it. This is a cover that helps make the background less visible, so I'll move that out of the way. So when I change the background, so Canva makes you think of computers. Oh, I accidentally deleted that. That's all right. I click undo up here, and it comes back. Computer, scroll down, and let's say that one. So all you do is drag it over the thing you want to change, and it does it automatically for you. Then I put the gray film over it again. I don't have the image on my computer yet, so I can't use remove background, but that is what I'll be doing. I'll be adding the image of me in the right outfit and deleting the background, and then going ahead and clicking upload and uploading an image or video. You can also just drag the file into here, and that works as well. Okay, so go back here. You change the words, so use Canva when teaching. Just keep that simple. I'll go ahead and click Canva, make that pop out, get rid of the Loom logo. I don't need these either. Now, if you click on any element and you click Tab, it moves to different elements on the screen, so it makes it easy to edit it. So all I'm doing here is clicking Tab to make those changes, so now it's resized properly. And then, for example, again, I'll add me over here on the left, but you can also see, obviously, photos, but I like doing elements here, and you can see, obviously, a lot of different types of elements that you can add. So if I use a frame, and then I add in an image, I'll just show you this as an example. So let's see, let's keep it simple again. If I drag it over the circle, it creates a circle cut right there. So it makes it really easy to have the right type of image that you want. Circle, squares, or other types of shapes too. So delete that because I do not need it. Okay. You can also go to elements and, nope. Let's do computer again. So now rather than images, you get these icons.
So you can find one you like. Change the angle. And then once I'm ready for it, I'll just add me, for example, I can choose this one if I wanted to and move it to be the right size. And now I have this, YouTube template to work with. I can also click myself and flip it. And now I'm thinking this way. But of course, I want to be facing the words. So there's a lot that you can do here with filters and with effects, but I don't tend to get that crazy with it. And then I would just download it as a PNG because YouTube size doesn't matter as much. If I was using it on my blog, I'd do a JPEG because it's a much smaller image, so the load time would be much faster. So this is what it ended up with when I did some, edits to the thumbnail, at least for now. It might look even more different once it actually goes live on YouTube, but just to give you an idea of all the things that you can do with a template when adding in images that you yourself took, as well as icons that you download from the internet or that you use from Canva as well. This is the tool, in a nutshell.
Go ahead and click the like button if you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to find out more about how to use Canva for major projects, here are 5 ideas for you to use. And if you're just looking for more edtech advice, then this video might be helpful too.